Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I've ever witnessed a league climax quite like that one. City fans are heartily sick of hearing about United scoring 2 goals in stoppage time in Barcelona. Now they can crow about their own stoppage time double at the Etihad that wrenched the title from Old Trafford's grasp. Arsenal finished third, Spurs fourth. Queen's Park Rangers lost but stay in the Premier League. Bolton are relegated with Blackburn and Wolves. It's been an extraordinary day. What are you thinking tonight? Well, I don't know what the official attendance was here today at the Etihad, but every single person lucky enough to be here will never forget it. And Pete, you were one of them.
Good evening, Alan. How are you, mate?
I am pretty excited, but you know, you're a City fan.
Yeah.
Where are you? Somewhere in the clouds.
Alan, I tell you what, Alan, I docked in Portsmouth this morning at 1 o'clock this morning. I travelled, because I'm in the Royal Navy, I've come back from Libya. Basically, I drove up there through the night, and that was worthwhile coming from halfway around the world just to watch my hometown club win the Premiership in 44 years, you know. But I tell you, I was on tender hooks all game, really, quite honest with you.
Pete, you know, going into stoppage time, were you thinking, what a mug I am? I've made all this effort to get here, and they've let me down. No,
not at all, Alan, not at all. Cause I just had the belief that we could do it, you know. And when Deco scored, there was people around me that were saying, we can do this, keep the faith, guys. And then Aguero scored in the last minute, and that was it. The whole stadium, Alan, as you know, just erupted. There was people crying in front of me. There was kids crying. You know, it was just so emotional. And now I'm going to a party now because my wife's organised a homecoming party for me, and I'm just going to go and get absolutely drunk with all my friends and family. You know.
Hey, Pete, tell the researcher the number and your home address, and I'll be there. No, I'm only joking.
No problems, Alan. No worries.
No, I'm only joking, Pete. Look, you have a fantastic night. You really merit it for what you've gone through to get here, and you know, congratulations. Cheers,
Alan. Thank you, mate.
All
Cheers.
the very best. Simon in Blackburn.
Hi, Alan.
Hello there, Simon.
Very happy City fan here. Been supporting him since 1970. Just to let you know, I won it for them today. I was cleaning the kitchen floor, getting high on bleach fumes.
Oh, that's the first time you've done that in 42 years, is it?
And I was sitting there thinking, I've jinxed this. I'm going to go out for a couple of minutes. I went out for 2 minutes, and they equalised and then won it. Unbelievable. I just want to give a quick message. Stephen Pownell, who's a United fan, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at work. And Andrew Sucker, who's another United fan, who's a mate of mine. We stuck one on you.
Hey, Simon, you were very close to being stuck on, so to speak. You really were. I mean, going into stoppage time, I didn't give you any chance, honestly. I
know. Well, neither did I. As I said, I was on the verge of tears, Alan. So I thought I must leave, give them a chance. Anyway, I went out and they did it.
Well, that's fantastic. Simon, like Pete, you'll have a great Sunday evening. Congratulations. And we've got another Simon now in Somerset.
Hello there, Alan. How are you?
Hi there. Good evening.
Good. And I just a couple of things, and I'd like to say congratulations to City. Fair play to them. I'm a QPR fan, have been all my life. In the 70s, I was lured away when Rodney Marsh left and went to City, and City in the 70s had the best side ever, and they were wonderful. But I went back to QPR, and I have to say I'm gutted today we lost. I thought we did what Chelsea did against Barcelona. We were fantastic today. And I can only say that, Cisse and Joey Barton, they're a bit of a lottery, those boys, aren't they? You get your 7 goals, but you get your sendings off. I listened to Rodney Marsh this morning, and I concurred with him. I would love to have seen a 2-2 draw, United slipping up at Sunderland, and nothing would have given me greater pleasure.
Well, Simon, just on Joey Barton, I still haven't seen clearly the incident that had him sent off. But what followed was a disgrace.
Exactly.
An absolute disgrace.
But you know, these boys, they play on the line, don't they? They play full octane. I mean, Cisse, you know, he's been sent off twice and he's got 8 goals. I mean, he's a lottery, isn't he? He really is.
It's extraordinary.
My last point, Alan, if I may. Well, I've got two points, but my last point, if I may, can I? I'm sure, with all the QPR fans, can I ask for a moment of thought for Neil Warnock? I think he was shoddily treated by the board. If he hadn't got his promotion last year, he wouldn't have been sacked. And I think Mark Hughes was shoddily treated by the City board. And so that was a tale of 2 managers today that both had a point in there.
You're absolutely right, Simon. You know, I've just got a feeling for Queen's Park Rangers that this was vital today that they stayed up. You have got the financial resources now to kick on properly.
I think we're top half next year.
I wouldn't be at all surprised.
When you look at the last 5 results at home, the people that we've beaten, I think we're top half.
Paul in Stalybridge.
Hello, yeah, just outside the ground. Fantastic result. I just want to thank Barton for getting himself sent off and the time it took him to get off. Because if he hadn't taken all that time, we wouldn't have won the game. But as usual, it's Man City player. I've been watching them for 40 odd years. Fantastic result. The right result for the players over the season. United haven't played well. We played well and we played badly in some games. But we have been the best team all season. And I just want to say thank you to the board. Thank you to Mansour for not coming. That would have been a circus, but thank you for his money. And I'd also like to say something nice about Mark Hughes, because you know, Alan, I never say anything nice about Mark. But well done keeping his team up. Well, he didn't keep, but Bolton went down. I would rather have Bolton stayed up, but never mind. But thank you to all the Manchester City fans. Fantastic time, and we'll see you next season. And next season, we'll win it by the end of March. Make it easy for all of us.
Well, there's a line of argument that goes that if Tevez hadn't misbehaved so badly, and Tevez had stayed it within the fold and didn't miss all those games, you might have won it by the end of March.
Well, I got some looks today when Tevez kept banging the ball over the bar, wasting it, and I'm going, I wouldn't have him in the team. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have him in the team.
I agree with you.
I really mean it. I was at Bayern Munich when he did his sulk. I wasn't very happy about it. It was a lot of money spent, and really, he was a disgrace. And then to let it go on for 3 months, 6 months, it was a disgrace.
Yeah, Paul, I think he'll be out in his ear anyway in the summer. He'll be elsewhere other than at Manchester City. But congratulations on winning the Premier League title today. We've got another Paul. They're coming in streams. First there's Simons, and now there are Pauls. Paul's in Cardiff.
Good afternoon.
Hello there, Paul.
I said that Carol Brooks said Joey Barton, but he should have been sent off. I'm sorry if QPR got a play like that. He's a cracking player, but he's got to learn to keep his temper down. I know he might have scored a goal or something like that, but hats off to Queen's Park Rangers. They don't go down. I'm glad that they stays where they are, and I'm really pleased that if QPR is not going to go down in A.
Well, I thought Barton's behaviour today was an absolute disgrace.
Yes, he should be sent off.
He did enough to get sent off, it seems. I don't know how much contact there was with the elbow, but he basically used an elbow on Tevez. But then, he followed up with Aguero, and then he followed up with Company. And, I hope he doesn't get away with just 3 matches.
No,
he deserves far more punishment than that. Yeah, and frankly, he deserves to be shown the door by Queen's Park Rangers.
I think we should get rid of it, shown the door, yeah, but and a healthy fine. It can't be happening to him. He can't keep his. He's a good player, but he can't keep his cool. And the manager's got to sort him out. And let's work on for next season now to move up a bit better.
Okay,
and commiserating to both of them as well. They have to go to the Premiership. My heart goes out to them as well, to their fans as well.
Okay, Paul, thanks very much indeed. Danny, you're next.
Hello,
Danny.
Yeah, Alan. Well, what can I say, mate? I'm gutted. I'm more upset the way it's happened than I would have been if they won 4-5-0. That I think every United fan would agree there. But, we'll be stronger next season. I don't know if you saw De Gea and Jones at the end, they're crying like they've been relegated.
I didn't, Danny. I'm not surprised. I'll just say one thing to you, Danny. I was lucky enough to be in Barcelona that night. And, Solskjaer and Sheringham's stoppage time climax, utterly unbelievable. On a night that Bayern Munich probably should have won. Now, it's been done to you today, what happened to Bayern that night.
Yeah, I can totally, I tweeted about it earlier on Twitter that, we've been there, we've done it. But at the end of the day, the point I really wanted to make was the title wasn't lost at Everton, it wasn't lost when we lost, at Old Trafford when we drew against Everton, it wasn't lost when we lost 6-1 against City, it was lost when Scholes retired, really. I think if we replaced him, we wouldn't be where we are now. I think we would have won the title. But, the blue moon may be rising, but the red flag will always fly high, and we'll be back next season, we're winning next season. And, United fans, keep your chin up, because, we're not down, we're not out.
Well, it's devastating when you have the same number of points, and yet you have them on the title. That is very hard to take. I mean, I was also present the night that Arsenal scored a second goal in stoppage time at Anfield to take the title from Liverpool back in 1989. These things happen. It takes a while to get over, I'll bet.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago, I spoke to somebody who knows Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yes.
And they asked him a question, said, what would be the most heart-wrenching feeling for you in football? And he goes, if I lost the title on goal difference.
Well, it's happened. It's happened. Danny, it's good to talk to you, though, and I'm sorry for the disappointment that you're obviously suffering now. Julie is in contrast, I'll bet. Hi, Julie.
Hiya. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm probably not as good as you.
Oh, the whole
What did you
of
make of
Manchester.
that?
People say, the blue half. What's with the blue half? There's no half. We're 3/4 and more, and we're absolutely, what a way to win it. I rang you, Alan, a couple of years ago when it was the Carling Cup and Rooney scored and won the game for them at Old Trafford. We'd won at Eastlands, as it was then. Tevez had scored 2. And all the City fans were saying Mancini, not all of them obviously, but Mancini this, Mancini. I rang you and I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. And I got on the Blue Moon Rising video saying that, the DVD, I'm on it saying to you, Rome wasn't built in a day. And Rome wasn't built in a day, but we've built Rome, we've built Manchester, we've built the whole lot today. That performance, for the last 5 minutes, they were like lions. It was absolutely fantastic. And they better get used to it, United, because we're doing to them what they've done to us for years. Not anymore. And all the people that say, you bought it. Is everybody else getting their players on free transfers? Are they all getting them on Bosman rulings? Where are their players coming from? I'm sorry, but just because we can afford the best.
Julie, the money argument is basically a nonsense because all titles these days are effectively bought. By clubs with a
Who
whip.
doesn't have the best company? Who doesn't have the best CEO in their company that they can get? So why would we not have the best players we can get? Should we just go out and buy rubbish players, even though we can afford the best?
Well, it's more than that, Julie. I think you'll replace certain players for next year with better players, and I just can see you kicking on from this too. This is not just.
We can do that, but some of them.
It's not just the third league championship for Manchester City. I think it's one of many that are coming your way over the next decade. I do
believe so. No, I hope so. I do believe so. Oh my God, I'm a believer. I'm a changed woman. I believe.
Right, let's have a look at some of your text tweets and Facebook comments. On Twitter, Nick says this has to be the best Premier League season ever. Nick, it depends what you're judging it on. Drama, odd results, okay. Quality of the football overall, don't agree. On text, Russ says, well done to the Toon on a fantastic season. It's been beyond all expectations. Pardew fully deserves his Manager of the Year award. On Twitter, Dion says, and this has to be the most ridiculous comment of the night, time for Alex Ferguson to go. I think the empire has changed over. He can't compete with this Manchester City machine. Dion, think about it. And then on Facebook, Martin says, what an end of the season. The title undecided until the 93rd minute. He suspects it will be the same two fighting it out next season. Heathen coming in. Terry is in Glasgow.
Hello, Alan. It's me. You know me, don't you?
I do indeed, Terry. How you doing?
I'm your biggest fan and I record your commentary and everything, but I know sometimes you are kind of anti-United. But, I don't know why you never once mentioned where did the 5 minutes of injury time come from, because had that been Sir Alex Ferguson or Manchester United, everyone would have been saying, it's Fergie time, it's this, it's that, so on and blah, blah, blah. And, Joey Barton getting a red card and, it's all kind of gone against us. But had that been Manchester United, it would have been all the decisions go their way, they get everything going, this and that. But not once has anything been mentioned about, Manchester City, So that kind of tells me it's just a big propaganda against Manchester. And I like you, Alan. I really do genuinely like that. I record your commentary for a reason because you're a good man. But today you really hurt me. My heart's bleeding.
Terry, can I just say to you, you just have to deal with the facts here. I was not commentating at the end of the game. And, honestly, Terry, hold on a second. Unfortunately, when you think of the number of substitutions that were made in the second half, each substitution demands at least 30 seconds to be added on by the referee, and the Barton sending off went on forever, went on forever, and the referee will have added time for that. I honestly wasn't remotely surprised at 5 minutes being added on. But I'm not guilty in sort of letting it go without comment because I wasn't commentating.
I know, I apologise, Alan.
It's okay, it's okay, Terry.
I genuinely really like you a lot. But one thing I would say is Manchester City haven't won the title. Manchester United have lost it.
Well, I agree with you there because I found that run of 4 points from 4 games extraordinary.
Yeah.
Absolutely extraordinary. And I heard a United fan say, we didn't lose it at Wigan, we didn't lose it in the draw with Everton. Actually, you did, because at 8 points clear, I thought, and I don't mean I'd financially backed City, but I thought at the start of the season City would win the title. But when United won 8 points clear, I thought United were going to win it.
They're just so cocky. They're just so arrogant, Manchester City. I don't know why, for some reason. We get labelled as being cocky and arrogant, but I don't know. Mancini and Vincent Kompany, they were shouting their mouths off before the middle of the season and everything else. And, I don't know. I really don't know, Alan. I love you, and that's all I... Well,
Terry,
I want to say some words, but I can't say them on radio, obviously.
Okay, but Terry, don't fall out with me, honestly. On this occasion, I wasn't guilty. I promise you. Not guilty. Let's move on to Neville. Hi, Neville.
Hi, Alan.
Hi.
Lovely to be able to speak to you at last. I've tried many a time and never succeeded. In all honesty, United haven't won the championship this year. City haven't won it. Yes, they had, technically, on better goal difference. It was only won today on goal difference. But can you, in all your broadcasting years... last year I went up... I'm a blind person, by the way. I went up to Manchester. I travelled overnight with my guide dog just to be up in Manchester for the celebrations of United winning the most championship titles.
Yeah, the 19, yes.
What an absolutely fantastic atmosphere. I would have gone up there. I met some wonderful friends up there who've stayed friends since, and they invited me up there to go again if we won the championship. But I should be on the phone to them tonight. City have got the championship. All credit to them, yes. But do you think, in your experience of commentating, I really enjoy listening to your commentaries, you, Alan, and Ian, and Mike. Listen to 5 Live commentaries, far better than the other radio stations that give the football. In your experiences, do you think, I know it's not been exciting as for some of the games, but it's been the most exciting finish to any of the champions that I've heard. And has today not been the most exciting, nail-biting one that you've actually been commentating?
Yes. I was commentating at Anfield in '89 when Liverpool were trailing Arsenal 1-0 going into stoppage time. And Arsenal had to score another goal to win the title, and that happened. So that was dramatic. But I think today smacked that because of all the other games that were involved in terms of the drama. And you know how I'll remember it, Neville? It will finally shut up my dear friend Mike Ingham, because he's been moaning to me for 13 years about how I was fortunate enough to be commentating on Solskjaer and Sheringham in Barcelona. And now today he got Dzeko and Aguero, so he can't moan to me anymore. Which is wonderful.
Obviously he can't moan to you anymore, but is it safer for you that you weren't commentating at a particular time, having had your...
Listen, considering Neville, considering the heart trouble I've had over the last year, yes, you're absolutely right. It's just as well
you'd had heart trouble earlier on. I thought, for God's sake, Alan, I hope you're not commentating. I'm glad you're not at the end of this, because it might have been...
Yeah, it could have just tripped me over the edge.
But it didn't. I'm so glad it hasn't, because
that's very nice of you, Neville. Thank you, and thanks for the compliments, not just to me, but to 5 Live in general. Thank you. Ellis.
Hello.
Hi, Ellis.
Hi, I think it's been a fantastic day, but slightly spoiled by me witnessing an assault on the pitch today.
Where?
Joe Barn. If the police saw that in the street, they'd arrest him.
Yes, well... Now, you're talking about the
not the actual incident on
Tevez,
because we haven't seen that clearly yet.
Right.
It's going up behind Aguero.
Yeah, Aguero. And then did you see the Company incident?
No, I didn't even see that.
Well, I gather he head-butted Company.
Yeah. Well, why hasn't the police arrested him? There's enough witnesses.
Well, the police normally leave those things to the football authorities. But, the football authorities should hammer him. Absolutely hammer him. It's not good enough, is it, Ellis, to say, he's difficulty keeping his temper. That's just not on. It's unacceptable.
One of your researchers said to me, it said, "Oh, are you just bringing this up because it's Joey Barton?" I said, "No, it's anyone that's done that. It's just, luckily my daughter wasn't watching, but I'd have to explain to her that's an assault."
Yes, it is. It is, Ellis, and ironically, it could have helped Queen's Park Rangers, because then they were concentrating wholly on defence.
Yeah,
I know they scored another goal, but mainly they were defending, and they almost got away with it.
Yeah.
But I don't. If I was a Queen's Park Rangers fan, I would be pig sick.
Well, if I was Mark Hughes,
you stayed up, but pig sick that my captain behaved like that.
I bet Mark Hughes stands behind him, though.
Well, he shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
He shouldn't. Alice, I know you're ringing from Halifax, but I detect you're a Spurs fan. Oh, Lord, what an afternoon you've had then.
Yes. We was relying on West Brom today. There's been a few vital games that cost Spurs in the end. We away lost to Stoke when they had something like 24 shots and an onside goal by Adebayo ruled out. We had a couple of those that if they'd have gone our way, we'd have finished third. But, if you'd have said we'd have finished above Chelsea at the start of the season, we'd have taken that. And we did finish above Chelsea. And
you might yet be in the Champions League next season.
I think it's a shame, actually, because normally I would cheer on a British team in the final, no matter who it was. Maybe with the exception of Arsenal.
Likewise, but you're going to have difficulty next Saturday night.
Next week I've got to cheer on Bayern Munich, I'm afraid, and I don't want to.
Hello?
No, I'm listening to you, Mick. I tell you what it is, all the stewards going berserk here at the Etihad because Vincent Kompany has just walked up from pitch side to have his photograph taken with a couple of fans. They're still celebrating here, mate.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally sure I've got no problem with that whatsoever. The only thing I've got really is it's a bit, for me, mate, as a hard-working bloke, struggling to pay for me ticket, struggling for everything, to see Carlos Tevez, that arrogant, horrible little individual with his hands on the Premier League trophy, to me, just makes me want to be sick. To take 3 months off and to hold a fantastic club like City to ransom, then come back to some sort of hero's welcome. His manager says he's not playing again. And today he's walking around with the Premier League trophy. There has to be something wrong with football if that is allowed to happen, mate.
I agree totally with you. It sticks in my throat. It sticks in my throat.
Thank you very much. It makes my blood boil, mate. You've got guys at City paying an awful lot of money for their tickets, and they go all the time. They've been suffering for 44 years, all outside of it. And he thinks he can take 3 months off, play golf, come back in and get a trophy. How's that right?
Well, it's not right at all. It's completely wrong, and it sickened me that Mancini welcomed him back, having said he would never play for City again. But I'll make this forecast. I'll make this forecast. I'm not saying I have inside information, but I don't think he'll be playing for Manchester City again. I think he'll be out on his ear this summer.
Yeah, but Mr. Mancini, he might be a good manager and all the rest of it, but as far as no matter what he says now after this, and that Balotelli palaver, his word's not worth. It's not worth anything when he says anything. It's nothing against City. I've got no problem with it. It's just galling for me to see him when everybody's struggling and he's on £250,000 a week, and he doesn't. I don't want to go on now, and then he comes back and picks up a trophy.
Yeah, goes to Buenos Aires and improves his golf swing. Celebrates his first goal back for Manchester City by swinging an imaginary golf club. I mean.
Exactly.
Awful. I wanted to throw up when he did that.
Oh, mate, it just makes up. Well done to City. Got no issue with that, mate. It's just him. I think it's so wrong.
And you're absolutely right, Mick. Thanks for your call. Mark's in the M62. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Alan. QPR fan, just coming back for the Man City game.
Well, before you say anything, can I just congratulate you and all the Rangers fans for staying behind the way you did? I thought that was a marvellous gesture.
It was unbelievable. But there was a funny thing what happened, and I'm actually very proud that I was actually involved in it. Because what happened was there was a gentleman sat in front of me, and he had a earpiece on to the radio, finding out about the Stoke game.
Yes.
And there was the scene from like Crocodile Dundee when the bloke goes, "I love you," and then it's passed all along. Well, I'm stood there, and I goes, "What's happening?" And he goes, and he was really milking it. He goes, a minute, it's a penalty. And I goes, it's a penalty, it's a penalty, it's a penalty. And it goes all along like that. And then this bloke shouts, what's happening? And I goes, quiet. And then this bloke says, quiet, like that. Then of course, somebody else had a radio and they beat him to it. And this bloke looked absolutely gutted because he had the attention of about 100 Rangers fans. And then the next thing I've got to say is that I've got to be honest with you, it was very emotional. I cuddled loads of really ugly men, and I'm not that pretty myself, like. And then walking out the ground with all the City fans, I'm so pleased because they are so passionate supporters, and I'm also pleased as well for Manchester United because with Ashley Young doing his theatrics, right, I'm really looking forward to Ashley Young coming to Loftus Road next year because we'll see how he copes with the diving over there. So I don't need to be nasty now, but I'm really chuffed that City have got themselves on the mantle, and let's just hope they can stay there because nothing makes me smile more than seeing loads of Guildford Reds walking around, especially now they're blubbering, like. You know, so sorry, I don't mean to be so nasty there, but very proud of the Rangers today, very proud.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much indeed for your call. Here's another Queen's Park Rangers fan, Alex.
Hello there.
Hello there, Alex.
Hi, listen, I just wanted to say a fantastic game today, brilliant result. I think I was near your previous caller, actually, and I think I saw that incident as well. But what I wanted to say, though, was that we'd stayed up at Bolton's expense, but I think we fully deserved it the way we played today, except for the Barton incident, which is a separate thing. But the way we played to a man was fantastic. We defended brilliantly, we did everything right, we were well organised, kept our shape. And one player in particular who's done this week in, week out for us is Jamie Mackey, who got that second goal.
Yes.
He ran his heart out again today, absolutely brilliant. I think that's the point I want to make, that I think we actually deserve it despite the fact we lost.
Well, Alex, just on Barton, you couldn't have seen much of what went on because it was at the opposite end of the pitch. And yeah. I didn't see the first incident where he used the elbow on Tevez. But honestly, when I saw the replays and you hear what happened with an alleged headbutt on Company, it's just not on. It really is not on.
It isn't. I mean, part of me actually feels Derby Barton's been on this mission to he's been on Newsnight lately, hasn't he, talking to Jeremy Paxman. He's trying to reinvent himself and prove that he's some kind of modern Renaissance man. But he's let himself very badly down today. And in another circumstance, it could have cost us very badly. And he I don't know what, to be honest, if I were Mark Hughes, I'd probably be saying, look, mate, that's enough, you've got to go.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Thanks for your call, Alex. It's 7:15 and you're listening to 5 Live. Right, let's have a look at some of your text, tweets and Facebook comments. On text, Dawn in Chelmsford says, what a season for Arsene Wenger. First it was sack him, but we were wrong. Now he's got us in the Champions League for next season. But Joshua on Twitter says he thinks Wenger still should go. He says we need to buy more quality players and not rely on the youngsters. On text, Fen says, been a Manchester City fan for 64 years and wore my noisy neighbour sweatshirt today. That's quite hard to say after broadcasting for hour upon hour. They didn't seem to understand that in Berkshire. You probably didn't understand my comment. On Twitter, Pete says, great performance by Norwich today. They played Villa off the park. I wouldn't be surprised to see McLeish sacked. The Villa players looked broken. And on Facebook, David says, David De Gea has tweeted that he believes Manchester United will come back stronger next season. If he had been stronger at the start of the season, United would be champions. Good point, David. Keep them coming in. Back to your calls now. Tony in Colwyn Bay.
Hello, Alan. How are you, mate?
Yes, I'm fine. Thanks, Tony. What about you tonight?
After today, what a day. What happened? City were getting beat 2-1. And we've won 90 minutes. I've gone and made a brew. I'm jumping up and down, yeah. I've come back. And they've scored 2 goals. You know, what can you say? Good luck to City, though. At the end of the day, Alan, we've 8 points clear. And Manchester United don't normally do that. We've lost 2 experienced defenders, Wes Brown, John O'Shea. And I think that's told, really. And the keeper as well. The injury to Vidic. You know, I mean, Pat Nevin said the kid Rafael is not a right back, he's a wing back. And he's right.
Yes,
he's right. Is. But at the end of the day, at Christmas and the January sales, we had a chance to go out and buy someone, like we did with Cantona, yeah, just to get to the end of the season. He's bought Scholesy back, yeah, and we've nearly got away with it. We've been beat on goal difference, you know. But good luck to City, because at the end of the day, they deserved it. But, Alan, I'll say to you, when Michael Thomas scored that goal for Arsenal,
yes,
who won the league the next year?
I can't remember, it's so far back.
I think it was Liverpool, so...
Oh, see.
It's going to be hard for City to win it. We'll come next year, mate. We'll come next year, without a doubt.
Do you think Sir Alex needs to persuade the Glazers that much money should be spent?
Well, to me, the money men, aren't they? But what if the Glazers aren't going to give him money? What I would do... I'd sell Nani, me, because he's a show pony. He's not going to give you 40 goals a year like Ronaldo.
No, he's not a Ronaldo.
No, never, and he never will be. He never will be. So if they're not going to give us money, sell Nani, yeah? And I'd go, and we need a hold-up player up front, yeah? I don't know about in Europe, but in the Premiership, I'd go and buy Grant Altme from Norwich.
That's an interesting shout, that, Tony.
He'd do a job for us. Because Rooney's not a hold-up player. Every time we go to 5 in midfield, him on his own up front, he loses the plot. So,
well, Hernandez has gone back a little bit, and Berbatov's going.
Yeah, I know.
And we don't know about Welbeck properly.
No, he's a kid, isn't he? He's gonna be a good player, Welbeck. Yeah, but next year he'll be better. But we need an experienced player that holds the ball up, and a player in midfield. We've missed Fletcher, but we're going to have to. I don't know who we're going to buy, but a midfielder that can win the ball, can tackle, and pass it to the wing, because that's how we play.
Warren.
Hello.
Hello there, Warren.
How you doing? How you doing, mate? Great day.
I'm doing very well. What about you? What has made you ring?
Oh, well, I'm a Queen's Park Rangers fan, lifetime, born in Acton, but I've lived in Boston and the United States for the last 14 years.
You lucky boy.
Sorry, my voice is going. Well, yes, but nobody's heard of Queen's Park Rangers. I'd walk around with my jersey on and people would just look at me, and all of a sudden they're on the ESPN, they're on every single television in America today, and I'm walking around the streets and I've got people, Americans, coming up to me, shaking my hand saying, Queen's Park Rangers on the box. I said, I feel like someone needs to pinch me. I'm a QPR fan living in America, and finally I'm recognized. It's unbelievable.
Hey, let me read out something to you, Warren, you'd be interested in. Joey Barton he's on Twitter again, as he tends to do. Quote, he says, I can do nothing but apologise to the players and the fans. Still don't think it was a sending off. Tried to take one of their players with me. Still not my proudest moment. Well, that's ridiculous from Barton, but then he's always ridiculous.
I completely agree. No, one of the things I liked under Warnock was that we had a sense of identity, and I think we lost that in the middle, and we gained another sense of identity with Mark Hughes, and I think Joey Barton should be taken care of and just sort of sold off during the summer. He's just too much of a cannon, wild cannon. I couldn't deal with him.
Not good enough, just a liability at the club. It's a bit like Tevez at Manchester City. Move them on. It's not good.
Right.
It's not good for the health of the club.
Not at all. I just couldn't be more proud. I flew out there for the last game last season, and when we got promoted from Division 2 up to Division 1, I was there for all of that. But I'll tell you what a day for a QPR fan living in America when you have people coming up to you and just shaking your hand. And I never thought QPR would be on the television, let alone ESPN, in front of 200 million people worldwide. And we did ourselves very proud. At times.
I tell you what, mate, you've got it made because you live in one of the greatest cities in the world. Thanks very much for calling 606. I want to end with a Manchester City fan. Peter in Bournemouth.
Hello.
Hello, Peter. Congratulations.
Made up. Man City won the league. Made up, mate. I've got half my family that are United fans and half my family that Reds, and half my United family not even talking to me. They've gone out. They won't answer their phones, and I'm really, really made up. And I thought the commentary today was absolutely superb. I listen to 505 all the time. I don't watch it, I listen to it. And I get more of a buzz by listening to you than watching any game live.
What did you think going into stoppage time, Peter?
Oh, well, my heart was pounding. I didn't know. I just thought, 2-2, this not happening. It's the same old City. Same old City. They can't do it. Everything falls apart. And then when that goal from Aguero, that was some goal. You've got to agree, Alan, that was some goal.
Well, it's probably a goal that everyone who's lucky enough to be at the Etihad Stadium today will never forget in their lives. Thanks very much, Peter. Well done, Manchester City, winners of the Barclays Premier League in 2012.